Now let's take a look at this figure 14-20, and we're measuring operating voltage to ground. We just looked at phase to phase in your figure 14-19. But now, notice measuring phase to ground. You know that if you have 208 volt, three phase, you take 58% of that. We looked at, in previous illustrations. 58% of 208 would give you 120. So we would have 120 volts that we would measure phase to phase, because 58% of 208, that's the winding voltage, isn't it? So we'd be measuring 120 volts to ground. Now, one thing I have found in my experience in dealing with motors, that if you measure the ground and you have any one phase, or any of the phases that you exceeded 1% of the voltage, you're in trouble. You could be in trouble. So what you do is you take 1% of 120, that's a 1.2 amp volt, and you would you don't want to exceed that. And if you exceed it, it's been my experience, you could go in many cases to the motor, and it would be the contacts in the controller that wasn't making good contact. Now, it could be other things, but when you measure it all the way down and you get good voltage, but at the windings you don't get good voltage, and you're having trouble with the windings. So just don't exceed the 1% on the voltage, say the ground, and you're okay. So figure 14-20 is illustrating this concept, but the say the 1% that you don't exceed the ground on the voltage, that's in the text in the book. I would like to remind you that generators, transformers, motor, and compressor book, a lot of information that you obtain in that came from engineers, contractors, electricians, maintenance personnel, as well as in many cases inspectors. It just wasn't a James Stallcup book. There was a lot of people gave a lot of good input to this book through the years to provide for you the information that will help you do your job a lot better in the field. So it's just how much knowledge do you want? This book will certainly educate you well on generators, transformers, motors, and compressor books, or any one of these items. You say, no, I just work with a lot of motors. Then you got that. You just go to the part 2, and it's all about motors or compressors. I'm just dealing with compressors type, air conditioners and compressors out in the oil field, for example. It kind of covers all this stuff. But it was put together by a number of very educated, experienced people with experience that really knew what they were doing. So keep that in mind, and this will conclude this chapter. And next, we'll try to do videos on the types of motors that are available to us, the benefits of using a certain type of motor. And all these motors that we'll talk about are listed in table 430.52 in the NEC. And so till next time, if you like these videos, well, hit that subscribe button and become a member of our channel. And these videos will just automatically come to you as we post them. And Billy and I are just getting started. We're going to have a lot of good videos for you that will, we hope, be very beneficial to you. And keep that in mind. And again, thank you for watching. And this concludes our Chapter 14, Theory of Motor Design and Installation. Not necessarily installation, but just theory.